My name is Roy Reaves. My family owns Reaves Timber here in Big Island, Virginia. My grandparents started the company in 1950 to feed the hardwood paper mill that's 2.5 miles south of us that we still provide material for. Anyway, I've been in the woods my whole life and have loaded a lot of different wood on a lot of different trucks and hauled a lot of different loads on a lot of different trucks. And anyway, these days we run tractor trailers, and the drop deck plantation trailers work really well because they pull good and the wood is closer to the ground, and we haul random length wood and tree length wood, logs and pulpwood, pine and hardwood, and it is hard to always make a plantation trailer work with random length wood. In a lot of ways they're not really made for it. But what we run into with them is with the dummy bolster right here. When you put random length wood on the front rank, we cut our wood 18 to 20 foot. Well, it throws the center of gravity off and it tries to fall off towards the back because it's got to sit right here instead of back here. One way to solve that, instead of a dummy bolster, is to put a removable spacer back there, but it's hard to keep up with and it just gets in the way sometimes. So because of that, I've been thinking for years of a way around that. So I came up with this, which we call Ridge Link. And as the video will show, the loader man by himself can move this bolster from here for tree length or short logs, pick it up and set it right back here, and then you have your spacer for random length pulpwood or long logs, and it's balanced well. And what really helps with that is being able to load the trailer easier, quicker, and safer, and the truck pulls the load down the road a whole lot better with the weight distributed on the second cross piece instead of sitting right here on the neck, which is actually a weak point on plantation trailers. So anyway, that's why I came up with that. You can see with the video how it works, and we can go over a few other things. By doing this, you really accomplish three things. Since we added standards to this is the position it would be in for loading tree length timber. You just have an extra set of standards up here to help hold the wood in, or if the wood isn't quite long enough to reach the front bolster, you could use this one. But the other thing that you really gain with it, and the reason I concentrated so hard on the lock to the frame, is with it right there, you can actually load a bunk of short logs. Like, it will catch 8-foot logs because you have to have 12 feet to reach the ordinary bolsters. But sitting right here by itself, you can load just shorter logs on it that only catch these front two ranks. And it's safe because it's locked to the frame, and the logs or the wood will hold this down. We have some pictures of it we'll put on there too. But anyway, that's a huge benefit to people who need a trailer that can do different things for pulpwood and logs. And it works really well for that. We use it for that a lot. So that's the position it would be in for short logs and for tree length wood. Now, if you're going to go with longer logs or long pulpwood, then you would pick it up and set it back here. And like I said, the loader man can do it by himself. He doesn't need anybody on the ground. There's no pins to put in. There's nothing. The lock holds it in place right there, and gravity holds it down back there. I mean, with an ordinary spacer back there, it'd be the same thing with gravity. So it doesn't make any difference. And the rigid cross piece holds everything back here anyway. When it's back here, it's just a spacer. So you gain the ability to be able to haul short logs with this, and it makes it a little more, for tree length, it's just a little bit safer, a little bit extra standard. And the other thing you gain with it is when it's a spacer, which is what I really made it for, it's easier to load the wood, it's quicker, it's safer because it pulls it down the road better. So those are the things you gain from being able to haul the shorter logs when it's in this position. When you put it back there, it's easier to load the random length stuff, and it's safer, and it pulls better going down the road in the truck. Now, when we added this, it added, as far as the weight of it, we have a set of scales here at the wood yard. We weighed it before and after, and when we were done with it, it weighed 1,140 pounds more. So it only added 1,140 pounds to the weight of the trailer, and you gained another cross piece. Up under the front of the trailer. The orange part is part of the Reaves link bolster. So what holds it down and makes it safe to be loaded up here is this lock, or this holder. We put this cross brace in here, piece of 5-inch tubing, and then this right here locks tight to it and holds it down to the frame. For it to go anywhere, all of this would have to come loose. So this is the part that actually moves when you pick up on it with the knuckleboom. But it locks into the trailer frame right here and holds it tight. So if we come around here, what makes it all work together to keep this upright is the parallel linkage right here. These two 3-inch tubing bars that we put bosses in and made the pivot points, but that's what keeps it upright. It really works really well. It really doesn't move much at all. But anyway, we attached it to 2 points on the frame and 2 points on the bolster and put some bracing in it. And then this is the top part of what locks it to the frame. The knuckle boom, you can see in the video, will grab this part and pick up on it, and then it comes loose. And when it goes back, the bottom of this will sit on top of this bolster, and then these orange pieces right here catch the bottom of these right here. So that makes it safe as far as being a spacer back here, which is all it really is when it's back there for your random length or your logs. So all that keeps it safe in that position, and we can move it back and get a picture of that too. But the other thing that makes it, the other thing we added to it to make it as safe as I could think of to keep this from coming up, of course, while it's loaded, is we added this extra lock to it to take up the space, so this cannot come up if this is dangling, because it will not fold up. And as long as there's wood or logs on top of this, there's no way for this to come up, and there's no way for the bolster to move when it's in that position. If something terrible happens and all the wood comes off the trailer, it's not going to matter if that moves or not. So that's the extra safety lock. And when the knuckle boom, when the grapple grabs this right here, it automatically pushes down on that and lifts it up, and when he lets go of it, usually it'll fall right back down into place. And it's pretty simple, and it works. Other thing that we did to this trailer, we put, you gotta brace the neck of it, because like I said, this is a weak point. So we added a little extra bracing. We put this piece of angle line right here at the top to help hold the top of that. And then we put this brace right here, and we filled up this spot right here with the brace, because that area is not used for anything. And that really helped it a lot. And I think that's all you need to do. It seems to work really well. We've been using it for almost 2 years now. Haven't really changed much of anything on it, and it does exactly what we want it to do. All right, with it in this spot back here, which is the back, which is really just makes it a spacer to keep the wood up, to balance it better. You can see that the lock turns into 2 feet. This sit right here on top of this bolster, which holds the center, and then over here on each side, they fall on, the bolster also falls onto these braces, so that'll keep it from doing this. And then just gravity holds it right there. We haven't seen any problems. The drivers haven't said anything about it shaking or bouncing going down the road in this position. It's heavy enough that it stays good. Gravity holds it down. We've never seen it move in almost 2 years of pulling it. And then it just lines up and just rests up against these cross pieces right here, which actually makes all that stronger. I had wondered if it was a problem if the standards get bumped or bent, but we haven't run into anything like that. And if you think about it, I mean, that's 2 of them that it would have to move. But we made all this pretty strong, so I mean, we just haven't had any problem out of it. I see no reason why it won't last a lot longer, and it accomplishes a lot of things. So I feel like it's worthwhile, and we've had some interest in it that people I've showed it to, and I don't think it's not something to be really expensive. In terms of trailer, it's not really made for two different types of material into something that would haul actually 3 different types of material: shorter logs, random length wood, and tree length wood. It hauls all of them very, very well. So I feel like it's something that could be used and added to as an option for new trailers by manufacturers. So that's the reason for this video. we've got some other trailers that we're going to put it on as soon as we get time, but it does what I hoped it would do.